Okay, so last week I got to go home for the first time since August for Thanksgiving to see my friends and family. Now I wanted to take the time off from school and homework and tests to finally make a new video. I didn't want to do the same thing that I've always done, and honestly there's nothing really to do in Madisonville, so I decided to learn something completely new. My friend Chris does parkour and freerunning, and he's actually pretty good at it. He has his own team and own channel that you should definitely go check out. But I'm not gonna lie, I have always been interested in parkour. So I asked Chris if he could show me the basics of freerunning. So without further ado, here is what I learned. So he started out first by teaching me some different vaults. Then he taught me this thing called a corner spin, which is actually pretty simple. So after I had learned this, he thought it was time for me to do my first line using the Kong vault that I had just learned. Next, he explained to me that balance is key when it comes to freerunning. So he had me practice my balance on a beam at a slightly unnerving height for a beginner. And after I had my balance down, he helped me come up with another line. So, I walk across the beam, grab the bar over the slide, and swing out onto the ground. Swing out onto the ground. I swing out onto the ground. Yeah, so I couldn't nail the landing for this to save my life, but I finally got it. On to the next line. So, I go from a semi-clean standing long jump, or a precision as the freerunners call it. I style over a little gap and perform one of the vaults that I learned earlier. So when we were done here, he decided that it was time for me to learn some flips. By the way, by this time I was so tired that I could barely walk. But I pushed through because determination is key. So he starts off by teaching me a kip up, which I managed to get first try. Next he taught me how to properly do a handstand. Little did I know that this was all preparation for learning how to do a front handspring. So I watched him do it a few times, then I went for it. I didn't do so hot the first time, or the second time, or the third time. I never managed to completely get the front handspring cleanly, but this is as far as I got.
There it is!
Right, so by this time I can barely move. So this was the last thing he taught me. A wall spin. Very similar to the corner spin from earlier in the video, but on a wall. It was pretty simple and I got it first try, so to end the video, how about a sloppy combo from a very tired me?
Alright, so I'm really glad Chris came out and showed me the ropes of parkour and freerunning, and I think I did a pretty good job. You did alright.